Hey, welcome back to What's on D's TV. My name's Dee. This is my commentary podcast. This is where I talk about movies, music, TV shows, all things media that I love, that I listen to, that I watch. Housekeeping rules, as it always is. We can disagree. You don't got to be rude about it. Feel free to put your comments, questions, concerns in the comments below if you like. Hope y'all are having a good day. And yeah, I that's everything I have. I'll get into the episode. First of all, y'all, I have to say, okay, several things are going on. One, so I took a break from social media. I do this sometimes because sometimes it gets too much. I take a break. I don't go on like Twitter or post anything like that. So I went back yesterday just to see what's going on, what I miss. And I see that a fan page called Catherine Hahn Fans has posted a picture, and it is obviously of Agatha and Rio with the date September 18th. And I was like, maybe I need to stay off social media more often because every time I leave from social media and come back, it's to Agatha Rio goodies, and I want it all. I want everything. So I'm gonna do that more often. The funny thing is, okay, so September 18th, we're possibly getting some new Agatha Rio content. I don't know, whatever it is. Again, I want everything. Give it all to me. I'll take it. So that's happening September 18th, allegedly. Okay. The the movie that I'm talking about today premiered. It came out September 18th, 2009, right? And now I'm wondering, because I want it to be in threes, if I should just post this episode on September 18th. Because I don't know, it feels cosmic to me. And again, I'm trying to do bi-weekly, but I will hold off a week. So I'm listen, y'all will know what I decide when this is posted. But I just thought that was funny, and I think it's hilarious. The timing is always, I don't know, whatever. But no, I thought that was cool. And yeah, so I'm very excited. I don't know what Agatha Rio tidbits we're getting. I'm geeked about it. It is funny because I did complain about on TikTok. I was like, so we didn't get nothing from Catherine and Aubrey for Agatha all along, nothing at all. And I was real torn up about it. So to see this is fucking hilarious. And I posted that right before my social media break. And then I came back to this and I just thought that it was funny. And it was posted on the day that I came back. Granted, it was posted hours earlier when I saw it, but it's a sign and I'm taking it as a sign. So I just thought that was funny. I needed to get that out. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I hope we get some Agatha Rio goodies. And yeah, I'm excited to see what that's about. So September 18th is, something to pay attention to. So back to what we're talking about. Okay, so the movie I'm talking about today is Jennifer's Body. Now, this movie I had a big impact on me as a youngin' because again, I'm not a horror girly, but if it got sapphics in it, I will suffer. I'm not watching straight horror shit. Like that's, you want me to watch heterosexuality and horror? You want me to be traumatized multiple different ways? No. So, I was like, I'll give this movie a chance. Even back then I wasn't a horror girly, but I was like, I'll give this movie a chance. I was Megan the Stallion. She talking about me? No. I'm a Megan the Stallion fan, but that's not what we talk about. I was a Megan Fox fan. So much so I had a frame poster of her that I got from like the mall. My friend got it for me for my birthday. And then I had another one. It was her, I believe it was a Rolling Stones cover It was like a white cover, and she had on like a black. I don't know if it was a bathing suit. I don't know, but I had those two hung up on my wall for years. So I was a Megan Fox fan, and I was like, a Megan Fox fan, and she playing queer in some way, shape, or form. I'm in. And so I saw this movie, and it has been. I recently rewatched it, but prior to rewatching it, it had been a good 10 years since I've watched it. Now, of course, there's a specific scene that I see on social media all the time, and that is what had me geeked as a youngin', that specific scene. And so prior to rewatching it, that's mostly what I remembered, and like a line here or there, one where she was like, where Needy was like, "Oh, you're killing people," and she was like, "I'm killing boys," and I thought that was funny, but so other than that scene, that specific scene, and if you know, you know, I'm gonna talk about it in here, so other than seeing that specific scene on social media, I haven't seen anything about the movie. I haven't rewatched it. I hadn't really paid attention to it. I just remembered that it had me in such a fucking chokehold as a youngin'. Okay? So I was like, let me rewatch this. I'll do an episode on this. And I already told you I was going to do it anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'll rewatch it. Let's see. Here's the thing. And I remember asking somebody if they had watched have seen this movie Jennifer's Body prior to me rewatching it. I was like, "Have you seen it?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "Oh my god, you gotta watch it!" Like, I feel like it is a cult queer experience, that you need to, a cult queer classic. Try saying that 3 times fast. So you got to see it, you got to watch it, right? Then I go and I rewatch it, and here's my advice: if you remember this movie being so pivotal, I think that's the word, or having such a big impact on you as a child, and you haven't watched it then, and you want to watch it as an adult, don't, is my advice. Just let it be a great memory in your mind. Don't rewatch this movie as an adult. I'll speak for myself. My thoughts have vastly changed after rewatching it. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to talk about, what stood out to me in the movie, and my experience rewatching it versus my memory of it when I watched it all those years ago. So, oh man. Anyway, okay. So, and no, I don't think they need to make another or a sequel or any addition to this movie unless they're going to change a lot about it. That's just my thoughts. Um, but yeah, so we into it. I was like, yeah, it's been so long since I watched this fucking movie, like years. I was excited to see how it lived up to my memory, right? And then yeah, so yeah, this episode is about Megan's body. Oh my god, Jennifer's body. Stop thinking about Megan, girl. Come on, get it together. Jennifer's body was my shit growing up. So the movie opens the movie opens up with so the movie, oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. The movie stars Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox. Megan's character is called Jennifer, and Amanda's character is called Needy, and they're best friends. Okay, all right. So it opens up with Jennifer laying in her bed watching like this old infomercial, where they try to sell you stuff on the TV. So she's watching that, and she look toe up. She does not look like she feels good at all. You toe up for Megan Fox, you know what I mean? You know how movies like to do that when they cast beautiful women and try to make them look regular or ugly, and it just like she just looks sleepy. um, and but one thing I pointed out is she had on these like these knee high socks, and I said I love a good knee high. I love a good knee high. Um, and then so she is laying in bed watching the infomercial, playing with her hair, looking exhausted, and it shows the her window, and you see Needy, who is Amanda Seyfried's character, standing in the window, and I was like, "Ooh, jump scare!" Because she's just standing there staring at her, and when Jennifer looks at the window, Needy ain't there no more. I was like, "Uh oh." So the next scene we have is it showing us a flash forward of what is happening to Needy, and she's explaining everything that went down to get her to where she is currently. Currently, she's in a mental institution slash jail. Um, and she's gonna explain why. But well, she did. She says she killed people, but she's like I don't know if she's knitting or something like that. I don't know, but she's talking about how um since she got admitted into the mental hospital slash jail, she's been getting a lot of like fan mail from people, most of them weirdos and creeps. And I was like, makes sense. I was like, girl, them ain't fans though. They all right. And then she was like how most of it is like religious people trying to, tell her that all you got to do is turn to the Lord while she's in jail. I was like, yeah, sounds about right. That sounds about right. And then she's saying that in where she's at, the institution she's at, she's called a kicker. And then the next scene is I guess them showing how she got her name because one of the doctors slash nurses comes up to her and tells her that she should be eating better because what she's eating isn't giving her enough like nutritional sustenance. It's not really good for her body in a nice way. Like she wasn't being rude or anything. And then Needy just kicks her. And I said, now why you gotta attack one of the only black ladies with a talking role in this movie, Lesnicki, because Needy's last name is Lesnicki. I was like, why you gotta attack the only black lady with a talking role in this movie? Come on now. I just thought that was funny. I remember uh as a kid seeing that part and being like, oh, not the black lady. So stupid. Anyway, so after that, the scene goes to showing us how Needy and Jennifer met in high school. After Needy kicked the lady, she got sent to the hole. So solitary confinement. And yeah, so they're showing us how they met. They're in the gymnasium, and Needy is sitting on the bench watching I don't know if they're cheerleaders, but they called it flags in the movie. So they're doing a flags routine, and Jennifer is presumably the captain. She's front and center. And I was like, baby, none of these people are given teenager because again, movies love to do that. You hire people who are obviously in their late 20s, early 30s to play teenagers, and they don't look like teenagers at all. They don't sound like teenagers. They don't act like teenagers. It's just not believable. And I don't remember if that had like if that was a big thing that I noticed when I originally watched it, but watching it as an adult, I definitely noticed it. Um, but yeah, so they show Needy smiling and happy and watching the flags routine, staring at Jennifer, and I said, Gorgiana, these people look old as hell, but Megan Fox look good. And I was like, yeah, I used to have such huge crush on Megan Fox. Yeah, I talked about it. And then so Jennifer waves to Needy, and Needy's all excited and she waves back to her from the audience. Um and one of the characters next to her goes, you're totally like lesbian because talking about how Needy was so enthralled by Jennifer, and I said lesbian. I'm using that. I'm using it. I'm stealing it. That's mine. And then I just thought that part was funny. And so the next scene is after the flags routine and everything like that. Needy's at her locker. Jennifer goes over and she's talking about an event that's happening at a club later on, and she wants Needy to go and telling her what to wear and all that stuff. And something that makes me cringe so hard throughout this entire movie is the language, the lingo, the stuff they say. I was a teenage girl once. Never in my life have heard any of this language, any of this lingo. I don't know what era the movie is supposed to be set in. I don't know if it's the past. I don't fucking know. But the way they're talking, I'm like, I don't, what are you saying? And and it's supposed to have like a small town feel, the movie is, which it does, but I don't know where they were, what they were aiming for with the language and the stuff they say, because I can't relate. And then the next thing they have is they have Jennifer walking away from Needy after telling her what to wear and everything like that. And I just say I hate low rise jeans. Always have. Even when they were a big thing in the 2000s, hated the way they look. They look so stupid. Um and Jennifer was wearing a pair of low rise jeans. That's why I pointed it out. And then, so the next thing we have is Needy in her room. She's trying on different outfits so she can go out with Jennifer to the club, which again, they're supposed to be chill. People sneak into clubs, so that's not hard to believe. But anyway, so she's, trying on clothes. Her boyfriend, his name is Chip. He's sitting on the bed, talking to her. And Needy was saying how there's rules to going out with Jennifer, how she can't like upstage her, but she can't look so beneath her that people will be like, why y'all hanging out? And I was like, Needy, you ain't upstaging that girl. Like, be for real. And this is not saying that Needy's ugly at all. She has the classic skinny white girl look, and they put her in glasses so she's a nerd. Uh, like it just, but it's Megan Fox. It's Megan Fox. So I just thought, I thought that was funny. That was a funny statement. And then, yeah, see, I pointed out, say they do the classic nerdy loser girl who wears glasses and is obsessed with the popular girl. Classic trope. And then yeah, so Chip is sitting there on the bed talking to her, and he has his sneakers on the bed. And I said, get your fucking sneakers off the damn bed. Why do people do that? In shows, they run rampant with that shit. They have their sneakers and shoes that they wear outside on furniture. I don't understand it, especially on a bed. Let me calm down. It's just a movie. It's just a movie, girl. But I hate that so much. And then I said that, oh, cuz Needy and Chip started like making out, and she stopped and was like, Jennifer's here, before you heard any sign, any hint that Jennifer was there. She was like, Jennifer's here. And he was like, it's creepy how y'all do that. And I said she knows she's there cuz she's lesbian, duh. And that's her boo thing. That's her boo thing. And then I thought that was funny. They do have a lot of like telepathic, quote unquote, connections in this movie. They do kind of explain it a little bit. I don't know if it's enough to make sense, but I didn't really think that deep into it. But they explain it a bit. But yeah, they do have some type of like telepathic connection. Needy and Jennifer do. And then, so Jennifer is in the house, and Needy and her boyfriend come down the stairs, and yeah, just more cringy lingo. Jennifer is like, it smells like Chinese food or something in here. Have y'all been fucking or something like that? It's just some weird shit, and I'm just like, why are y'all like this? Anyway. And then another thing about this movie, the slurs. Honey, they did not give one single fuck. The slurs they threw around throughout the whole movie, crazy. Crazy shit. Stuff that like I've never even heard of. I'm crazy. So just be prepared for that because I point that out a lot. So the next thing they have is they're at the club. I don't know how they got in, but they're at the club, and they're there to see a band called Low Shoulder. That Jennifer says the dudes are really hot and they're from the city and all that stuff. Small town lingo that movies usually do. And so Jennifer is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a shot for the lead singer." Um, because she, oh no, not yet. So yeah, they see them, and the next person that comes up is a douche that I forgot was in this movie, but it's Chris Pratt. I hate that man. Anyway, he comes up and he's uh training to be a cop, messing with an underage girl, which there can be something said about that. But yeah, anyway. So he's asking what she's doing there and all that stuff, and she's saying that they're there to see the band. They're extra salty, which to her means cute, I guess. Oh, also, you know what? Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That this lingo is something that like maybe it's how straight folks talk. Cause like I said, growing up, my friend groups were basically mostly queer people. And so even the friends that I had that liked boys, we didn't like they didn't talk about boys this way. But maybe that's just us. Maybe we're different. Maybe we're the abnormal ones. So I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. Maybe that is how teenage girls who are into dudes talk about them, and I'm just don't know. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that one thing. So, but yeah, so he is a wannabe cop and messing with an underage child. Jokes. And then yeah, just more problematic lingo. Like they say the R word a lot in here. I believe they said I'm trying to they said a lot of problematic shit that I didn't remember. Again, my mind mostly when I think about this movie, I think about one specific scene. So I don't know if my mind like just blanked it out or I did watch the unrated version. I don't know if it's that bad in the rated one, but the unrated version, the slurs are terrible. Oh my god. Yeah, I said this movie is so problematic to the point where like I felt uncomfortable at points. And maybe I'm too woke, whatever. But it's just some stuff that's said. I'm like, you didn't need to. You could have said something else. You didn't need to say that. It just made me uncomfortable. Like there's a scene where after she speaks to the band, she's like, I'm gonna go get y'all shots, my favorite shot, and she's telling them, she's like, they have this 9/11 tribute shooter that's red, white, and blue. And yeah, I put 9/11 tribute shooter question mark. I don't even. What do you. Moving on. Um. So Jennifer goes to get them the shot. Needy is playing with one of the machines that's close to the stage, and you hear the band, Low Shoulder, the dudes talking. Not even talking quietly, just talking at a regular fucking tone. Planning to sacrifice Jennifer because they believe that she's a virgin. Because to them, quote unquote, they know girls like this. They play it up, but they don't give it out. That's what he said. I don't know the band's people's name. They're just called Low Shoulder. That's who I'm calling them. But the lead, that's what he said. And I was like, how are you supposed to be planning a sacrifice and you're being loud as fuck in public? There's no you're just being loud as hell, just talking normally. And you think people who are so close to the stage can't hear you. So of course Needy hears them and she's like, that's my friend you're talking about. And yeah, she is a virgin and that beats sleeping with creeps like you because she thinks that they want to sleep with her. But jokes on her with that part. They're not interested in sleeping with this girl at all. Um and it's so funny because later on in the episode, later on in the movie, there's a part where Jennifer's talking to them, and because I'm just saying this because I don't know if I pointed it out, but they're in the group's van, and Jennifer's talking to them, and the dude goes, "God, I hate girls." I was like, it's so funny. Needy is worried that these people want to hunch on Jennifer, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And I just thought that was funny. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I was saying him being loud as fuck about this plan and the band going with it, stupid. Like that's who you trust to dabble. That's who you trust to dabble in the dark arts with. Somebody who can't who my anxiety at this point, my anxiety sky high. And I was like, yeah, nobody's worried about being cursed or nothing. Like, y'all just do whatever, be as chaotic as y'all want, and think that that's going to get y'all the results y'all need. Okay, whatever. And then, so Needy, after hearing and thinking that they want to sleep with her because they think she's a virgin, she told Jennifer, because Jennifer was coming back with the shots. And there's a part where she goes, okay, so Chris Pratt's character, his name is Roman. He's the cop sleeping with the teenager. Anyway, so uh Needy tells her that the band were talking about her being a virgin and all that, and alluding to the fact that she thinks that they want to sleep with her because they think she's a virgin. And Jennifer goes, what? I'm not even a backdoor version anymore, thanks to Roman. And I was like, that doesn't sound consensual. I mean, of course, because she's a child, but that didn't sound consensual at all. It didn't sound like something she wanted. And the way they just threw that in there, like, it'll go over people's heads. And I guess as a kid, it did. But as an adult, I was like, the more I hear about this, the more I hate it. Anyway, so Jennifer puts the shots down. The band starts to play. So she grabs Needy and they go stand in front to watch the band play. And Jennifer seems to be under a spell, just listening to them. I will say the song is catchy. I will say that the song is catchy. I think it's called like Through the Trees. It's catchy. I'll give them that. But you see Jennifer watching the band, so enthralled, so like just happy to be there experiencing that experience. And then you see Needy next to her, who's mixed, watching the band, listening to the band, and watching Jennifer. And Needy is so in love with Jennifer. Like, you can just see it on her face, the way she's staring at this girl. And then Jennifer reaches out and holds Needy's hand, and Needy looks down and she looks at Jennifer and she's smiling. Jennifer she's focused solely on the band. So it's kind of like she grabs her hand and she's not even like thinking about it. And Needy sees that her attention is still on the band, and so she like lets go of her hand and she's a little sad. I was like, oh, she's so in love with this girl. And then, so as everybody is watching this band play, you see the fire. There's like something falls over and a fire starts on the curtains of the club, and the band sees it, but they just continue to sing, and everybody else, I guess, is so enthralled by the band, nobody's paying attention. I'm like, y'all don't smell fire, y'all don't hear it, like y'all don't feel burning. And then everybody notices that the fire is happening, and instead of running out, they're just standing there and screaming, grabbing each other, hugging each other. I'm like, why don't y'all just run out the fucking building? I get fight or flight or freeze, but come on now. Nobody has the thoughts to run out. Okay, whatever. And so, Needy grabs Jennifer and they run out, and they're in front of the club. Jennifer falls down and Needy is like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, stay with me. You're all fine. You're fine." She grabs her face and she's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And then the leader of the band walks up behind them. And he's like, "Yeah, we should get to someplace safe. Someplace safe like my van." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not a creepy statement at all. Come to my van. It's safer." And Needy's like, "No, thank you." And she's like, "Come on, Jennifer, let's go." And Jennifer's like, "No, I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with them." And Needy's like, "Jennifer, come on, that's not a good idea." And Jennifer's like, "Needy, please just shut up." And she gets into the van with them. They close the door. Um, and she's staring at Needy through the van window, and Needy's just terrified. And so she goes home. She gets home. She's freaking out because, again, she was just in something fucking traumatic, a huge fire that people lost their lives in. And she calls her boyfriend, and, she's telling him, she's like, something is wrong with Jennifer. And she tells him everything that happened at the club. He's like, who cares about Jennifer? Like, is everybody, like, are you okay? Like, are you all right? And, she's, again, just worried about Jennifer. And, yeah. And so my thing was, she called her boyfriend instead of calling the police. You're worried about Jennifer being missing, and you called Chip. Chip, who does not really care about Jennifer. The whole front of the movie, he has shown absolute disdain, and he cannot stand Jennifer. And he doesn't understand why they're friends. And you call him because you're worried about your friend instead of calling, I don't know, the cops or something. All right, girl. So the next scene we have is they're back at the van. Jennifer is in the van with the Jennifer is in the van with the band, and I said a glass van, and yeah, so they're in the van and they're talking to her, and again, I don't, why did this movie have me in such a chokehold? I have no fucking idea. And then, so the next scene we have is Needy hears somebody. She's still on the phone with Chip. She hears somebody knocking on the door, or she hears a knock on the door, and so she's walking down the stairs, still on the phone with Chip, and she's like, "Oh, I hear somebody knocking." And instead of, I'm gonna try to be calm with this because it just makes no sense to me. Okay, instead of like moving the curtain aside and looking out the window on the door to see who's around, she just opens the fucking door, steps out, and is like, "Oh, nobody's here." I said, at this point, whatever happens to you, you deserve it. Because why? Why the fuck would you do that? You sense that there's danger. And instead of taking precaution, you just, first of all, you open the door, you step out, you turn your back. So if there is anything and they're sneaky enough, they can get through without you knowing anyway. That part stressed me the fuck out. And I was like, yeah, at this point, whatever happens, this on you, girl. And then so she gets back in the house, says nobody's there. She closes the door, doesn't lock it. And I said, and you didn't lock the fucking door either. All right, doesn't lock it. And then she hangs up the phone with Chip, and she hears water running. So she hears a sound. So she follows it to the kitchen and she sees the tap is on. So she goes to turn it off. And I said, better turn that water off. I know y'all bill is high as fuck because that water was probably running the whole night you was out. This is the stuff I think about. Like, I know y'all bill is high. And so she turns off the water, turns around, and then she turns around, and then she starts walking, I guess, to go back up the stairs to her room. And you just see Jennifer, and she's like, "Jennifer," and she grabs her and she shoves her up against, Jennifer shoves Needy up against the wall. And Jennifer, oh no, before she does that, sorry y'all, I'm trying, bear with me. A lot happened. before she does that, you see Jennifer and she's bloodied from head to toe, and it's where you don't know if it's from her or from anybody else. You just know that there's blood everywhere. There's blood spilling out her mouth and on her teeth and everything like that. And so she smiles, and Needy's like, Jennifer, what happened to you? And Jennifer, then she shoves her up against the wall, and she's like, she whispers like, "Are you scared?" Needy was like, shakes her head, and she like looks like Jennifer looks like she's gonna bite Needy's neck. She doesn't though. She like just rubs her face against it. I don't know. And then she like walks away. And again, Needy is just like, Jennifer, are you all right? Meanwhile, Jennifer goes to the kitchen. She opens the fridge. She takes out this like chicken, I guess, that her mom. Well, yeah, Needy said her mom got it from Boston Market, and Jennifer's just going to town with this chicken, eating it and everything. And Needy is like, Jennifer, are you okay? Like, what happened? And you just see uh Jennifer stop eating, and then she starts like, I don't know if it's choking or what. She starts like it's like, you know, when cats get hairballs, it's like that. And then she just projectile vomits this like black sludge, and it like moves and it's prickly and it looks fucking disgusting. And she when she projectile vomits, she throws up on Needy, and Needy's just standing there. I'm like, you need to call the authorities, girl. Why are you just standing here? But yeah, she throws up all over her, and I said, oh, that's fucking gross. And okay, so I think I messed it up. Okay, so that her shoving Needy up against the wall didn't happen until after she vomited. So she did see her. She saw the blood. She was asking her what happened, and then Jennifer went to the kitchen, ate the chicken, projectile vomited, all that stuff, and then Needy was terrified and was like, "What's going on?" And Jennifer shoves her up against the wall, and it's like, "Is you scared?" And Needy nods yes, and then Jennifer like rubs her face, and you see like some of the blood and like vomit on Needy's neck, and then Jennifer leaves. And so I apologize for y'all. Oh yeah, but not before Jennifer leaves, but not before feeling her up. Like, I don't know why she had to feel Needy's chest like that when she's like, "Are you scared?" She like, I was like, "Why are you touching her like that?" And then she left. And then it shows the next scene is like a flashback of how Jennifer and Needy got their like telepathic connection. Basically, they were children um playing in like a sand pit, and a thumbtack punctured Jennifer's hand. And you know, she was crying, and Needy sees it. She takes the thumbtack out, and then she like sucks the blood off her hand. And I was like, now y'all both need a damn tetanus shot. But right after I said that, Jennifer goes, don't tell my don't tell my mom or she'll make me get shots. And Needy was like, I'll never tell on you. And that was a flashback. So that's how they got their like telepathic connection, I guess. I don't know. And then, so the next scene we have is after the fire and everything, everybody's back at school. Everybody is sad because people died. And it was a really traumatic thing. And Needy looked sad as well. And you see Jennifer just walking the halls, just strutting. She looks refreshed and rested and well fed and happy. Nothing like how she looked when she got to Needy's house that night. So, you know, she got her nutrients somewhere. And then Needy and Jennifer are talking, and Jennifer just says some really like rude stuff. And I'm like, this supposed to be your best friend? I don't know. And then again, I don't know what slurs they use, but in my notes I put again with the slurs. Like, I throughout this whole fucking movie, dude. Then I said the next thing I have written down, I said, I can tell right now The only things I'm gonna like about this movie is that specific scene that I'm talking about and thinking about or have seen on social media, because duh. And Jen saying that she's killing boys when Needy brings up her that she's killing people. I can tell, like, as an adult, those two things are the only things of this movie that I fuck with, and I don't think well, that sounds okay. I don't think that they're worth watching the movie for. If I want to see those things, I would just see them on social media. Like, I can't say that I would watch this movie again. And that's just me. That's just me. I know people, this movie has some folks in a chokehold and they love it. It's just, I watched it for the sapphic-ness, and I don't think that made watching the movie worth it, if I'm going to be honest. That's just me though. And then so I put again with the lingo, because the way they're talking, I'm just like, what the fuck is a dill hole? Like, I Chip says that he doesn't want to sound like a dill hole, and I don't. Okay, and then the next thing I have written down, I said, yeah, this is what I said. I said, I'm trying to decide if where I'm at right now, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, do the couple of sapphic elements and scenes in this movie make up for the movie being what it is? And then when I was writing the notes, I said, I don't know. Now I can say, no, it's not. It's not. Again, I'll just watch the scenes that I like on social media. And it's really just the one scene. The one scene I like on social media. So yeah, I was like, young me was so desperate for rap, huh? Like, poor baby. Like, the shit that I watched just cause anyway. So the next scene, that was my tangent. The next scene is Megan, fuck's sake. Jennifer takes one of the football players because one of his friends died in the fire and he was really sad about it. So she takes the football player, this really huge football player, into the forest. I will say the woods and forest in this movie look beautiful. You wouldn't catch me there, but it looks pretty to see on the TV screen. So Jennifer is like, oh, do you miss your friend? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, you're gonna visit him soon. And he's like, or well, she's like, you're gonna be with him really soon. And he's like, what, you mean like in heaven or something? And she shakes her head no. She's like, nope. And then they start making out, and they start making out, and as they're making out, you see all these animals crowd around and are like watching them. And he's like, he stops kissing her. He's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? All these animals is around us. And she's like, oh, they're just waiting. And he's like, huh? And then you see her open her shirt, and he looks down, and then he looks at her face, and you just see her come to him, and she like dislodges her jaw and like eats him. And so that's what the animals were waiting for. They were waiting to get their fill as well. And yeah. And as she's killing him, he's screaming, and one of the teachers who did like the whole spiel after everything happened and told them everything that was going on, he was like, let it out, kids, let it all out. I'm like, that does not sound like a scream of heartbreak and like sadness. That sounds like somebody's being killed. There's a difference, dude. Whatever. And yeah, I said all these people are stupid. They're all so dumb. So whatever. Next thing we have is Needy in the kitchen. She's making a fried bologna sandwich or something like that. And she has a pet. I want to say it's a ferret. I think it's a ferret. And I was like, why is that animal in the kitchen? Because it was playing around her feet while she was cooking, and when she dropped food, it like snatched it up. I was like, why do you have the animal in the kitchen, bros? And so Needy is listening to the radio. She's listening to everything that was happening, and Low Shoulder, they were being interviewed about the fire for some reason, and they were talking about it. And so the next thing you have is Jennifer. She went swimming after she had her meal. She went swimming, and then she's coming out of the water. And it's funny because she like brings her hair out to dry it, but her hair is still wet. I was like, "You did all that, and your hair's still wet, girl. You need a towel." And she did all that. She ate. Well, I mean, I guess she did take off her shirt, so that helped. But she ate the boy, and then she just put the same clothes back on. But suspension of disbelief. And then so the next scene we have is, Jennifer feeling good, and she's sitting at the oh, no. The next scene is Needy and Jennifer are or Jennifer calls Needy. She's staring at herself in the mirror. Again, she just ate, so she's fantastic and happy and looks healthy and everything like that. And Needy is still talking about the fire and how sad it was and everything like that, and people dying. And Jennifer goes, "Who cares about some white trash pig roast?" And I was like, "That's fucking crazy. People died. Why would you say something?" Also, and maybe she doesn't care about trying to distance herself from, the bodies piling up. Hey, Rio. Oh, maybe she doesn't care about trying to distance herself from that because she knows nobody will like look at her as a culprit. But some of the stuff she says, I'm like, you don't care about getting caught at all, huh? Because some of the stuff she says, anyway. So she's talking about how she feels so good, she feels nice, and Needy's like, "People died and it's sad," and she's like, "Whatever," and you just see her set her tongue on fire. And she puts the lighter to her tongue, and then burns it and pulls it away, puts her tongue back in her mouth, puts it out, and then her tongue looks normal again, and she goes, "I am a god." And I said, "Okay, Kanye." Okay, Kanye. And yeah, so they're talking, and Needy gets a call from Chip. And so she tells Jennifer, "Hey, I'm gonna talk to Chip right quick." And Jennifer's not happy about it because she don't like him neither. They don't like each other. So Needy gets off the phone with Jennifer, and then she answers the phone with Chip, and Chip is like, "Nobody's supposed to know this, but um the football player, he was found dead in the forest." And I was like, if nobody's supposed to know, why does your dad get to know? And why are you people are stupid. Anyway, whatever. And again, more slurs. They say more slurs because I say these fucking slurs, dude. I don't. Again, maybe it's because I watched the uncensored version or the unrated version. I don't remember it being like this. Then again, it has been 10 years, so I don't know. All right. I don't know why this movie had me in such a chokehold. So the next thing we have is they're at school, and Jennifer's walking strutting the hallways in this pink, like heart jacket. And I will say, I like the heart jacket she's rocking. Not gonna lie, that jacket was dope. Um, and so she's happy. You see, everybody else is sad and depressed, and she's just walking around like she's walking on air, like everything is good. And I guess for her it is. And so they're playing the uh they're playing the Low Shoulder song, as you see the difference between Jennifer and the rest of the town. They're playing the Low Shoulder song, and it's like, yeah, not for nothing, it's catchy. It's a catchy song. I'll give them that. And then so the next scene is it's another day. Jennifer and Needy are in class. I'm assuming it's their science class, and their teacher, who was the one who was like, "Let it out, kids," he's telling them everything that's going on and talking about formal and how they're gonna have a surprise and all that stuff. And he said, "Okay, talking about the fire," and Jennifer goes, "Oh, boring." And I was like, and he's like, "Jennifer and Needy, if you have something to say." I was like, now why is Needy catching strays? It was Jennifer who said it. But Jennifer just looks depleted, out of energy, sickly, and just as, terrible, quote unquote, as Megan Fox can look. That's literally the only way I can explain it, because these movies really try to make beautiful women look terrible, and she looks tired. She has a bit of acne. Woo. And that's, her she even says that she feels like a normie. I just think it's so funny. So he's telling them that there is a surprise. Low Shoulder has been doing a benefit concert, and they're taking 3% of the proceeds are going to back to the town that the fire happened in their town. And Needy was like, they're taking what's happening to the other 93 proceeds. And I was like, yeah, taking 93% of the proceeds is in poor taste. That's crazy, but again, the band, they're bad people, so it's not shocking. And you know what? That happens more often than you think. So whatever. The next scene is, Jennifer walking in the hallway, not feeling well, and Needy, standing next to her. They're walking together, and a guy comes up. I don't remember his name, but he's one of like the emo kids, I guess, gothic kids. I don't know. He walks up and he he wants to ask Jennifer out. He wants her take her to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and she's like, I don't like boxing movies, and he's like, it's not a fucking boxing. All right, whatever. I was like, sir, walk away. It's the best thing you could do for yourself. Just walk away. Just walk away. Take that no as a sign and just walk away. And then Needy was like, oh, why don't you go out with him? He's nice. I like him. And then all of a sudden Jennifer changes her mind because if Needy seems to like him, she's like, oh, I got to get fat. And so she calls him out to him. And then, she tells him that she'll go out with him and all that stuff. And so the next scene is Needy's at her locker, and Chip walks up, and he's saying that he wants to hang out with her, and he went to the Super Target to pick up more condoms. And I was like, oh, how romantic. I was like, the bar is in hell for some of y'all. The bar is in hell for some of y'all. How romantic. And then so the next scene we have is I think his name is Colin. The emo guy that asked Jennifer out. I believe his name is Colin. So you see Colin, he's driving up to this location that Jennifer told him was her house. And it looks weird as fuck. I don't know why he continued. I would have backed out, but whatever. He's walking around trying to find her, and then these two scenes coincide with each other. We have Needy and her boyfriend doing it, and I said, I know Needy and her boyfriend's sex scenes coincide with Jennifer killing Colin, but I skipped the scene anyway. I can only do so much. I've watched enough straight sex scenes to last a couple decades. I can't do it no more. My limit has been reached. I know that as Needy and her boyfriend are having sex, Jennifer is killing Colin, and Needy can sense it and feel it because of her telepathic connection with Jennifer. Got it. I remember that. I didn't need to rewatch it. So sorry. And then so Jennifer kills Colin and she eats him, and I said, oh, poor Colin. Well, and then I I said, well, that's what you get for just fucking sitting there, Needy. I don't know what that's from, but I don't know. Okay. So the next scene is Needy driving home from Chip's house, and and it's dark. She sees stuff, and so she decides to stop the fucking car because Needy is stupid. She stops the car and she's like, what's going on? And then Jennifer jumps on the car and cracks her front windshield, and Needy screams, and I'm like, that's what you get for just fucking sitting there, Needy. Why didn't you just continue driving home? No sense of danger. It irks me so bad. Whatever. So Jennifer busted her windshield. Needy got spooked and then finally started driving again and drove home. And when she gets home, she screams for her mama. And I was like, your mama don't never seem to be home, girl. Her mama just, I know her mom got to work, but she just ignoring the fact that she went through something traumatic with the fucking fire. She ain't never there when she need her. The next thing, because again, architecture, I talk about how terrible the wallpaper is, and it is terrible. And then so the next scene is after Needy's calling out for her mom and she's not there, she like falls asleep for a little bit on the couch. And the next scene is Needy waking up and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go upstairs and go to bed. So she goes upstairs, she turns off the lights, doesn't lock any fucking doors. Anyway, she goes upstairs, she turns off the lights, she gets in bed. And then you just hear, hey! And Needy's like, ah! She screams and she turns on the light and jumps out the bed. And Jennifer's like, you're so dramatic. And Jennifer is in like pajamas. She's in like this sleep shirt and these underwear in Needy's bed. And Needy was like, what are you doing here? And Jennifer was like, we always sleep I always sleep in your bed when we have slumber parties. Whatever. And then Needy's just standing there at the edge of her bed and Jennifer's like, come here, there's no reason to be scared. Because Needy was like, I saw you, like I hit you in my car. And then or she was like stuttering and Jennifer said another slur. She was like, you sound like, and she used a slur. And then she was like, come here, because she sensed that Needy was freaking out. And Needy came to her and she, like, put her hands on her face. Jennifer did put her hands on Needy's face. And then I just say, gay. This is the scene that I'm talking about. They start making out. And I was like, this is the scene that I see on social media. This is the scene that made this movie have me in such a tizzy as a kid. Because, okay, I can shit on this movie, and I will, and I have. I can shit on this movie all I want. One thing I can't shit on is that makeout scene. It was a great kiss scene. This was at a time when, and I'm saying at a time like it's still not relevant now, it is. This was at a time when sapphic characters didn't really get to express their attraction to each other. Like, we got a few like cheek pecks, a few pecks, this, that, and the third. This was a full fucking makeout. And at that time, I had not gotten that. At the time this movie came out, I had not gotten that. So yeah, young me had, for this to be all I had, I get it. It was this and like the fucking L word. And like not another teen movie. But that was something different. So not too much on young me in this movie. But yes, to this day, yeah, that scene, that makeout was phenomenal. And yeah, I see it all over social media because my timelines are incredibly gay. Hallelujah. And yeah, it's still not enough to make me rewatch the whole movie, but it's a good one. It's a good one. And I saw this movie in theaters, mind you. So it was it was a good one. Yeah, I'd say it was a good kiss. Like I can't knock it. And then oh man, anyway. So they're making out and then Needy starts freaking out. She stops kissing and Jennifer's like, "Oh my god, calm down, relax." And Needy's like, "You want to play boyfriend and girlfriend like we used to?" And Needy is, or Jennifer asked that, and Needy is like, "Yo, what is happening with you? What's going on? Like, I hit you with the car. I saw you." And Jennifer explains to her that they, when she got in the van with the dudes, they were like agents of Satan. And I said, they ain't agents of no fucking body. They stupid. They morons. And you were dumb to follow them. But anyway. and how they tried to sacrifice her to Satan, but it didn't work because she's not a virgin. and and now she has like superpowers or something, and to show her it, she like stabs her arm with like a toothpick or something, slits it open, and then she shows her how it just closes back up, and she's like, see, magic. And then Jennifer's like, so wait, what's happening? Or how are you? Oh, Jennifer says something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something. And Nita was like, wait, what do you mean? Alluding to how she gets her how she survives by eating boys. And then Jennifer, oh, so as Jennifer's explaining to us what happened, we see it. And yeah, Jennifer, this is when Jennifer was like, "Oh, I am a virgin, so you want somebody else, somebody who knows what they're doing." And the dude goes, "God, I hate girls." And I was like, "Girl, they do not want you that way." And then these stupid morons lay her down on this rock, pull out this big knife, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this ritual." Pulled out a paper. It was something he found on. These were his words exactly. He said, "Oh yeah, I found it online." So you did no research for this spell, quote unquote, ritual, quote unquote, sacrifice, quote unquote. You just, Dashnik, calm down. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, he's just doing this ritual that he saw online because they're fucking stupid. And then, yeah, I said these people are stupid. They sing the song that they said they're going to dedicate to her, and then he starts stabbing her over and over again with the big knife. And then here's what tripped me up. They're supposed to be using her as a blood sacrifice, right? They're supposed to be sacrificing her, blood of a virgin, all that shit, and they're gonna throw it into this waterfall that goes down and doesn't go. Everything disappears that goes in it. So after he's done stabbing her, he goes over to the edge where he's going to throw the knife on, and then he wipes the knife onto his shirt and then throws it. And I was like, if you're supposed to be sacrificing, if you're using her as a blood sacrifice, why are you wiping the blood off? These people, again, I don't know nothing about human sacrifice, but these people are fucking stupid. They're stupid. They're dumb. And so he wipes the knife on his shirt and then tosses it into the water. Confused. Whatever. Anyway. So Needy is like, "Oh God, we need to like call somebody." And then Jennifer starts to gaslight her. And she's like, "Girl, what do you mean? You should talk to somebody about these like delusions that you're having," as if she ain't just tell her the whole fucking story. Whatever. And then Jennifer's like, "I'm just trying to be a good friend," or something like that. I was like, "You're not a good friend, don't be delusional, come on now." And yeah, she's trying to gaslight her. And then Needy was like, "No, I need you to leave. I want you out." And this is where Jennifer's like, "We can play boyfriend and girlfriend like we used to." And I was like, now, Needy. now, Needy. Not too quick. No, but yeah, she kicked her out. It makes sense. All right, just my gay ass. So stupid. And then so the next scene, they're back at school and everybody's sad again because again Colin has died. And I said, just like that, I forgot all about Colin. I was like, what are they doing another funeral for? And then I remembered that she killed the dude the night prior. I completely forgot about him. My bad, dude. I don't know why my lotion just fell, but but yeah, so they're having a funeral about that. Needy is doing some quote unquote paranormal research on like what happens if you sacrifice a virgin and that's not really a virgin, some stupid shit like that. And I was like, all right, girl. She was like, yeah, I did some research, paranormal research. I was like, yeah, okay, if you say so. And then, well, y'all don't got no anyway, whatever. So Needy is explaining to Chip what's going on and how they tried to sacrifice Jennifer, thinking she was a virgin and she wasn't. And you can see Chip is like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Because I was like, girl, why are you saying all this to this boy that one doesn't believe you and two does not care about Jennifer at all? So why are you talking to him about this stuff? And Chip goes, it's not that I don't believe you, I just don't believe this. And I was like, that's kind of the same thing in this case, isn't it? Like, I don't believe you that she's possessed. I don't believe in possess. Like, it's the same shit. But I don't know why you talking to this boy. Whatever. And then, so the next scene we have is, and Chip saying that she may need to talk to somebody because something is wrong. And asking her about going to a formal, and her saying like, I don't think that we should do that. I don't think it's safe for us to be around each other. For some reason, she felt the need to break up with him. I mean, multiple reasons why she should have, but the reason that she did made no sense to me. I was like, all right, girl, I don't know. And she was talking about how she's going to formal, but it's just to be on the lookout and make sure Jennifer doesn't kill any more boys or any more people or anything like that. Whatever. So, the next scene is Chip getting ready for formal, and his mama comes in, and I said, "That's the mama from Dead Like Me." That's a show I will definitely be talking about. But yeah, Chip's mom plays George's mom in Dead Like Me. And I thought that was funny. And then, so the next thing we have is Needy, and she's getting ready for formal. And the dress that Needy got on is ugly as all hell. In my opinion, again, clothes are up for interpretation. To me, it's ugly as fuck. But yeah, I don't know, whatever. And then you skip to Jennifer getting ready for formal, and it seems that she hasn't eaten in a while because her eyes are red. And I said, "Oh no, Jennifer, your eyes are red. That's so ugly. better eat more boys, to fix that, so you don't have to look like an ugly normal person." I'm being very sarcastic, but and then the people in this movie are just so dumb. The next thing we have is Chip walking to formal in the dark, foggy forest on his way to formal, because there's not a killer running around and weird shit hasn't been happening. But anyway, so he's walking around, he's walking to formal, and you see Jennifer pop up behind him. And she's like, hey, what's going on? And so they're talking, and Jennifer's dress is ugly too. Her formal dress is ugly as hell too. So they're talking in the forest, and the next scene is the formal happening in the school, and the teacher, who again was doing the discussion about everything that happened in the band and all that stuff, he announces that Low Shoulder has agreed to perform at their formal. And I said, why do they keep pushing this damn band on these kids? They have one song, and yes, it's catchy, I'll admit it, but like, leave these kids alone. Have they not been through enough? I don't know. And then, so the next scene we have is Chip and Jennifer talking about Needy, and Jennifer saying how she was worried about Chip because Needy and Colin have been fucking for the longest time, lying, of course. And Chip was like, I don't know if I believe her, but he was kind of leaning towards believing her. And so the next scene we see them kissing, Needy and Jennifer. Oh, that would have been great. Anyway, no, Jennifer and Chip were kissing, and you see while they're kissing, Needy touches her lips because again, her and Jennifer have this telepathic connection. And she's like, Chip. And I said that it's funny that Needy felt Jennifer and Chip kissing, but said his name, even though her telepathic connection is with Jennifer. But she's like, oh, he's in danger, gotta go save him. And Chip, so we get back to Jennifer and Chip is like, you know what, I'm not interested in this. I can't do this to Needy. Like this, I can't do this. And Jennifer's like, come on, like trying to convince him. And I was like, damn, Jennifer, no means no. He's not interested. Leave the man alone. And so Jennifer's like, it's okay, come on, come with me. And they go to like this abandoned pool house. And you see Needy um trying to figure out what's going on. She sees the corsage that Chip bought her laying on the ground, and then she hears screaming. And so she runs to the pool house, and the way she ran looked so fucking funny and derpy. Like, I don't know why she ran like that. Maybe it was because of the dress, maybe it was because of the shoes she had on. All I know is it looked funny as fuck. I was cracking up. Um and then yeah, so she gets to the pool house and she sees Chip like bleeding because Jennifer has bitten him and she's like eating him, I guess. But Needy stops it because she barges in and she's like, what's going on? And so they're in the no, not yet. So Jennifer turns around. She has blood dripping from her face. She turns around to look at Needy, and then her and Needy start fighting, and she knocks her into the water, and then Jennifer is trying, or Needy's trying to help Chip, but Jennifer grabs him and pulls him into the pool, and or no, Jennifer has him in the pool already. She's trying to eat him, so Needy hits her or something like that, and Jennifer goes under the water, and Needy pulls Chip out of the water, and he's bleeding, and she's like, no, don't die, and everything like that. And I was like, you thought that just hitting her like that would kill her? And then you just see Jennifer swimming, and then she comes up, and she's like levitating. The powers, the powers that she has is kind of fascinating. The stuff that they make her do is very interesting. But anyway, so Needy and Chip, Needy is, trying to help Chip, and Jennifer just throws up on them again. The black prickly stuff. I said this is disgusting. And then Needy says something to Jennifer. I can't remember what she said, but Jennifer goes, oh, nice one, Hannah Montana. And I thought that was funny. I was like, why is Hannah Montana catching strays? Like, leave Hannah Montana alone. And then excuse me, Jennifer got out of the water. Well, she was levitating, but she got onto the ground, and Needy was talking to her, and she's like, oh, you're mad because you're not relevant anymore and all that stuff. And Jennifer was like, I am relevant. I was the snowflake queen. And Needy was like, yeah, like 5 years ago when you were relevant. And Jennifer goes, because she's tired of Needy talking shit about her, she goes, I'm going to eat your soul and shit it out, Lesnicki. And I said the way she delivered that line was good. That was gold. I'll give her that. That was gold. Now the way some of these other lines were delivered, but that one she did good with. I thought that was funny. And then after she said that, Needy goes, I thought you only eat boys. And Jennifer goes, I go both ways. And I was like, this is fucking okay. Some of the lines in this are funny. The rest of it cringe, but some of it is funny, and I just thought that was funny. And so she's sitting there watching her, and then Needy stabs Jennifer because Jennifer was like trying to come to her. Needy stabs her, or yeah, Needy stabs her, and Jennifer just pulls out what she stabbed her with, and she like walks away out of the pool house. And I was like, why'd you just let her go? You had her wounded. Why are you just anyway? Needy is not very bright. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but she's not very smart. Anyway, so you go back to Needy trying to help Chip, and Chip is really wounded really badly. And not only is he wounded really badly, he was in that dirty water. And so it's clear that he's not he's not surviving. And Needy was like, no, don't die. And Chip was like, I think I already did, but I felt you near, and then I came back, and just to, so I can see you one last time. And I was like, oh, that's sad. And his last words to Needy, or his last words in general, were, um, you look hot in that dress. And I said, your last words are gonna be a lie, dude. All right, if that makes you feel better, I guess. And yeah, so he dies, and Needy is sad and she's crying. And I was like, Needy, you touching everything. You're not worried about like evidence. Like, you touching everything. And it looks like you killed him. I don't know, whatever. So the next scene we have is they're in Jennifer's bedroom. We're in Jennifer's bedroom. So we're back to the beginning when she looked sickly and like she didn't feel well, and she was watching that infomercial and she had on the nice knee highs. And so this one, when we see Needy in the window, and Jennifer turns completely to face the window, and then Needy just breaks through the window and jumps on top of Jennifer while she's on the bed. And you see Needy has a box cutter. And I was like, no box cutter is that strong, girl. You did all well, okay. Hold on. So in the beginning, when Needy was looking through the window, it's because she had broken out of prison. We didn't know that yet, but that's how she got there. So she is, sitting on Jennifer. She has this box cutter up, like she's about to do a lot of damage. And Jennifer goes, do you buy all your murder weapons from Home Depot? God, you're butch. And that sent me. I was like, y'all are stupid as fuck. That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. And then so the next thing that Needy does as she's trying to stab her is she breaks a necklace, and it's a necklace that they both have. And I was like, now was that what was keeping them telepathically connected? I don't know, but it just felt, because they never showed anything about the necklace, so I don't know if that was supposed to, if her ripping the necklace off was supposed to be their bond breaking, and if so, and this necklace had so much relevance, I don't know why they didn't talk about it. But okay. um and then so Needy stabs Jennifer, and Jennifer's last words were, my tit. And I was like, y'all, I hate y'all. And then so Jennifer's mother comes into the room because she hears all the commotion. And I was like, now how is this Jennifer's mama? They look the same damn age. Movies. But anyway, so yes, Jennifer, she saw that Needy had stabbed and killed Jennifer, and that's how Needy got into the psych ward / prison in the first place, because she was caught red-handed killing Jennifer, and it also looked like she killed Chip. It just looked like she killed all these people. So yeah, she was put away for that, and then she got out. No. So I said that she got out, and then that's how we saw her. I didn't mean that. After Jennifer killed Chip, then Needy killed her, and then she was put in prison. They showed us the prison at the end because while Needy was stabbing Jennifer, Jennifer bit her. And Needy was saying, what they don't tell you about these sacrifices is, or these demon, whatever, about these things is, if you get bit by one and you survive, you'll have traits from them. So the way Jennifer was levitating in that pool house, that's what Needy was doing when she was in solitary, and she was able to somehow break the fortified window. So stupid. Anyway, she was able to break the window and break out of prison, and that's how she got out. And she hitchhiked And then she went to where Low Shoulder was performing their show, and she killed all of them. And that's how the movie ends. She was getting her revenge. I will say that the end of the movie seems so fucking stupid. The part of her breaking out of jail anyway. The revenge thing I get, but the part of her breaking out of jail looks so stupid. And yeah, the people that picked her up while she was hitchhiking, I was like, she's literally in prison clothes, and this old man decided to pick her up. But disgusting. Um, and yeah, I mean, I guess she got her revenge, so good for her. Maybe because she killed the band. I don't know what I don't know what that was supposed to do, but okay. Um, and that's how the movie ends. She kills the band. I I am sorry that this was all over the place, y'all. I tried to keep it together. I'm still thinking about the Agatha Rio stuff. But anyway, now today at this age and this time, I have to give this. I can't give this movie more than a 4, and that's even giving it a 4 is being nice. I was entertained. I was entertained by certain parts of the movie. I'll give it that. I won't ever rewatch it again, and I won't recommend other people to watch it. Either. That's just me. And then, the kiss scene that I like, I'll watch it on social media. It's probably better on social media when I don't have any context about, the movie, to be honest with you. So, that was that I give it a 4. Um yeah. Yeah, that movie was a movie that they made. Um let me know y'all thoughts on it. I I was so desperate as a kid, and that's why this movie had me in such a chokehold. And I feel so bad for young me and other people who have the same experience or have the same experience now. I feel so bad for us. I just wanted to see some sapphic shit and the shit we have to put up with. Story of my fucking life. Anyway, as a media consumer. Anyway, yeah, let me know y'all thoughts on Jennifer's Body. If y'all seen it. If y'all haven't, I don't recommend it, but if you haven't seen it and you do, let me know your thoughts. I hope that y'all are entertained by this episode. I am so tempted to post this on the 18th. Just for shits and gigs, We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts. Hope y'all are having a good week, a good day. Hope y'all are staying safe and staying cool. Just enjoying life and loving your loved ones. But yeah, thank y'all for listening. And I will catch you next time. Bye.